Let's set the scene. You're on the road, it's a college football playoff game, and your whole season is hanging by a thread. Then, in what feels like a blink of an eye, you're in a hole so deep it feels absolutely impossible to climb out of. This isn't just a story about a football game. Oh no. This is about a team that had to find its will to fight when all hope looked completely lost. 17-0. That was the score, early in the second quarter. In a winner-go-home playoff game, a deficit like that, well, for most teams, it's a death sentence. You could literally feel the season just slipping through their fingers. And if you want some perspective on that, just look at this stat. Teams in the college football playoff were 1-28 all time when trailing by 17 or more. Those aren't just bad odds. That's a statistical near certainty. History was screaming that Alabama's season was done, cooked, over. Now, to really understand why this felt so final, you have to understand this Alabama team. This wasn't just some random bad start. No, this felt like a familiar, really painful pattern repeating itself on the biggest stage imaginable. I mean, this team had a history of this stuff. Under coach Kalen DeBoer, they'd lost 6 straight games when they fell behind by double digits. They had just been blown out by Georgia after falling behind early, and get this, they'd even fallen behind to this exact same Oklahoma team in a loss just a month before. They didn't just lack a history of comebacks, they had a documented history of folding in these exact situations. But then, something just clicked. In less than 5 minutes of game time, the entire story, the entire season, just flipped on its head. And this wasn't some slow, methodical comeback. Nope, this was a lightning streak. The speed of it all is it's staggering. It all started with a really gutsy 4th down touchdown. Then, less than 2 minutes later, a mishandled snap leads to a blocked punt and a quick field goal. And just a little over 2 minutes after that, the biggest play of the game. That entire 17-point deficit, gone. Erased in under 5 minutes. It's just unbelievable. So what was it? Some magic play call? No. It all came back to the head coach's philosophy. It was about relentless pressure. The belief that if you just keep coming after your opponent, you keep fighting, eventually the game will come back to you. They'll make a mistake. And that is exactly what happened. And that mistake, that one single moment where the game truly did come back to them, oh, it was an absolute backbreaker for Oklahoma. This was the play that took a comeback from maybe possible to, oh my gosh, it's happening. Right here, this is it. Cornerback Zabien Brown doesn't just intercept the pass, he baits the quarterback, reads his eyes the whole way, and takes it 50 yards to the house. The stadium, which was just a roar of noise, went to this stunned silence. In one single play, all the momentum, all the hope, it just swung completely from one sideline to the other. 17-17, just like that. The impossible deficit was gone, the game was tied, and absolutely everything was different. And what came out of that fire wasn't just a tied ball game, it was a new team. This victory, it wasn't about the X's and O's. It was about forging a brand new, resilient identity for this Alabama squad. You know, the defensive coordinator, Kane Womack, he said it perfectly. This wasn't about some brilliant scheme or complex play call. The players won this game. They won it themselves with sheer, absolute will to not be denied. Just look at this comparison. I mean, it tells the whole story, doesn't it? The team that used to lack resolve was now playing with what the coaches called supreme urgency, but also this surprising calm. They went from a team that couldn't come back to a team that just pulled off one of the biggest comebacks in recent playoff history. And this quote from Womack again just drives the point home. This wasn't some one-game fluke. It was the result of a year-long transformation. They had become a team of fighters, a bunch of punchers. So, after pulling off this incredible comeback, how did Alabama actually close it out? And maybe more importantly, what kind of message did this incredible win send to the rest of college football? Well, they didn't just hang on for dear life. They took control. Quarterback Ty Simpson threw a touchdown to grab the lead, and then the offense put together one final, punishing scoring drive to seal the deal. Think about that. From down 17-0 to a 34-24 victory. That's a 34-7 run to end the game. Wow. And you have to love this response from the quarterback after the game. It's not cocky, it's this quiet confidence, a chip on the shoulder. This team heard all the noise, they knew people were writing them off, and you know what? They are loving this new role as the underdog. So, that leaves us with the big question, right? It's one thing to pull off a miracle comeback. It's a whole other thing to keep that fire, that will, that underdog mentality going against the best of the best. This game gave Alabama a new identity, for sure. But is that identity enough to win it all? Well, we're about to find out.